This is the Mercedes A-Class AMG. This is about as fast a hot hatch as you're going to get in Ireland today. It is powered by a 2-litre petrol, 306 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque, coupled to a 7-speed gearbox. And we're going to give it a good all review. Very first thing it has to be a car, you know. So we're going to have a look on the inside. If you're into that kind of thing, hit the subscribe button, grab a cup of tea, maybe get a chalky biscuit, and we're going to have a look around on the inside of the AMG. So Mercedes interiors have always been pretty good, in fairness to them. And particularly in the last few years, they've really upped the market in the game. But the A-Class was never really my thing. There's something about it doesn't quite work. And it's this step here or something, and there's a ledge there. And this looks like it's been sort of inserted into some USB port or something. Like it's just not, it just doesn't, there's nothing to tie the room together, man, you know. There are also a couple of things out of place, like these 3 air vents in the middle, which dominate the centre, and the 2 air vents on the outside are slightly offset, so they don't quite blend together nicely. Still, there are some redeeming features. I do have a gigantic screen, which is actually 2 screens across the middle of it here, and if I start it up, you start to see what those screens do, right? Need to do that, and then I need to do that because it's going to go straight into playing music. So I have 2 screens really. I have this center one here which gives me all my speed and information readouts. It also has a little X in the corner. It's not a touchscreen though. It's as if you're supposed to click an X up there, but it's not because it's there. Yeah. I have a touchpad thing which reminds me dreadfully here of Lexus. I have to say, I wouldn't be a great fan of what Lexus does with their touchscreens. It works, it's fine, and this works too, but I'm not a great fan of this touchy-feely thing to do stuff. You can use the voice control, so you can say things like, "Hey Mercedes," and she totally ignores me then. There is a way of doing this "Hey Mercedes" thing, isn't there? Online service currently unavailable. Please check your Mercedes-Me settings. Okay, so not working at the moment.
Could you repeat your input, please?
Navigate to Dublin.
Please select an entry.
There you go. I can go to Dublin XXXXX. Probably not a good place to go.
Say select
Stop. Right, then she shuts up. Now that won't get too annoying for you, I'm sure. But there is a USB-C down here. There's also USB-C in here, which has no converter for me, so I can't charge my phone, so I can't do anything there. But that's okay, it's alright, I can live with that. I know you're all going USB-C eventually. Glove box over this side as well. Bottle holder over here, 2 cup holders, and a sort of a bench holder thing in the middle of it. You can put whatever you want in there. Then I have manual heating controls across here, which is very good. Always keep the manual, that's what it should be. Right, that is the interior. It doesn't quite gel together in the way I wanted it to for Mercedes. I thought they would have a nicer interior, but it's good. You'll like it, but it just doesn't, I can't put my finger on what it is that it doesn't work in here, but it doesn't quite gel together the way the rest of the Mercedes range does. Anyway, on with the back seat. So, back seat, this front seat is set for me. There's a convenient sort of porthole there. I do have fist room between me and those seats. That is hard plastic. That there between me and this. The door has a small bottle holder in it. You get maybe a litre bottle into that. There's 2 air vents here in the front, and then there's 2 USB-C ports and a sort of a hole, I suppose, maybe where an ashtray would probably go in other countries, but not in this one. And I find the seats are too low. I mean, the bottom part of the seat is flat. It's flat to the ground at my feet. I'm a high lump off that seat. Anyway, seat is a bit weird like that. There's a net on both of those seats. I do have a holder here, which has 2 cup holders in front of it, an armrest. And you can get into the boot of the car. There's no ski loader, but you can get into the boot of the car by doing that. Oh, that's not. It hits the front seat. That's because you can't move them, see. You have to move the front seat. We'll gloss over that because I didn't put the front seat in the right place. This is, oh, that gets really stuck there behind that seat, doesn't it? Right, well, seat belt gets stuck behind the seat. Anyway, it's a back seat. You could fit 2 adults back here. maybe a couple of kids, no problem, and you have ISOFIX and stuff as well. Right, on with the boot. So, boot. This is the boot of the AMG, and today I've been cycling. I cycled here. Now I know that's mini, but I cycled here on this little bike. And you can see it fits commodiously into the boot and actually leaves a bit of space around the edge of it. So it's quite a sizable boot. I can live with that. Underneath the boot is nothing. Right? Well, there's nothing underneath the boots. There's no spare wheel or anything in here. But anyway, it's a boot. It's the same size as a normal A-Class boot. That's kind of it. Right. Let's get on with the most important part. How does it drive as a hot hatch? Anyway, so to drive the AMG, it's 306 horsepower. It feels every inch of it. 400 newton meters of torque really does give you a punch in the back whenever you put your foot down. I'm currently in comfort mode, so there's a lot of dynamic selection stuff going on here. So you can go Sport, Sport Plus, which really actually turns everything on or off, and then you have individual setting as well, and you can have a setting called Slippery. Yes, Slippery. That's not to make the car slip, that is to stop the slip when it happens in slippery conditions. But what I do like, and what I found is the kind of nicer one to use, is sort of sport, just a standard sort of sport mode. It doesn't make the suspension too hard and yet gives it plenty of grip, because this is a four-wheel drive, and that means that you can really get a lot of power down in a very, very gentle and progressive way, but you can also do it in a very aggressive and crazy way like that. Oh, it's like a homicidal maniac in fairness. It's like, you know, it's like doing something normal and you're just all happily playing a game in the backyard and somebody suddenly comes out with an axe and starts to massacre everybody. It has an ability to get power down like I've never seen in a hot hatch. This is beyond hot hatch to some degree. It hangs on so very well in all the weirdest situations. There's just cushions, they're rode out very well. See, you can't tell me that you're not excited by that noise. You can't tell me that there's a point where you're sitting in an electric car and you're able to go 0 to 60 in 4 odd seconds, which this can do as well. And it's exciting. The noise is exciting. Do you hear that noise? It's just... it's snarly, toothy. I'm going to rip your head off stuff. It is an incredible experience to be this comfortable moving this quickly. And you don't have to be moving quickly for it to feel like it's aggressive, you know, that aggressiveness to the whole thing. It is an incredible little machine. It'll get sadly overlooked in this country because, like I say, the dealers don't really support these small 5-door hatchback machines, and there isn't really a big market for these out there either. It's such a clingy machine. Really is like squirt and go, you know. Like a Mad Max thing where they're squirting, you know, the paraffin or whatever it is, the gasoline, and stick it into the front turbocharger. That's what it feels like, you know. Whoa! This is very, very good, I have to say. A serious contender for a performance car. You know, as a performance car goes, this is like properly performanced and properly delicate as well. I mean, it's a sledgehammer of a thing when it's accelerating, but it's delicate in the corners. You can really point it in and place it exactly where you want it to be, even when the corner's a little bit weird with some strange cambers on it. Hard braking into that corner there. Again, I can point it straight in. Really is a stupendous little machine to drive. Very good, Mercedes. I like it. I really do like it. And you can fit 4 adults in it. You know, so it's a normal car with a boot as well, and that's more the point. It's a shame that this kind of car will be destroyed in the future by WLTP, by the advent of electric cars. The reason why I say it's a shame is not because it's a great passion of mine, it's because the sales of this would have been low anyway. You're talking about selling 10 or maybe 15 in an entire year if you're lucky to get anywhere near that kind of number in Mercedes. I mean, in Mercedes Ireland. That's why when you've only got maybe 5 to 10 cars on the road, it really makes no difference what their CO2 output is. It's, you know, one single factory, one single office block somewhere puts out probably the same amount of CO2 as this does in a year, you know, and it does it in a day. So it's a beautiful, passionate thing. God, that's so good. It's so snorty. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've got enough of an interest in a Mercedes-AMG to go out and buy one, because I think you should. And when you do, leave a message down below. I'd be really interested to hear your comments on whether you think it's a good or a bad car. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you want more of these kind of reviews? Performance cars? Should I be talking to all the other performance categories out there and making them give it their cars too? Anyway, all I ever want you to do as usual is hit the subscribe button. Perhaps you check out the support buttons down below for PayPal and Patreon and all those other ones that are there too. That'd be great. But as long as you've gotten all you need to know from this review, until the next time, I'll see you on the far side.